How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to Reading with Matthew James. And I am back with another review video of our book, The Crash by Freda McFadden. And in my last video, I reviewed chapters 5 through 9. There was a lot going on. You know, the story really got crazy in 5 through 9. So chapters 10 through 15, I'm reviewing now. A little bit more relaxed. I mean, we did just get into the crash, but, you know, it was a lot less than what happened in 5 through 9. So I'll get right into it. Chapter 10 starts off with Tegan had just hit head on into the tree, crashed her car, and she's in a bad situation. Luckily, Tegan is conscious, no head injury. She's alert, she's aware. She checks herself in the rear view mirror. She's got a lump over her eye, so she might have hit her head on the steering wheel. She goes to check her legs. You know, she's a little bit pinned in the car because with the head-on collision, the front end came down a little. So she could barely move her legs, moves her right leg a little bit, and it's fine, not much pain. She goes to move her left leg, can't move it at all. She's in excruciating pain. Something's definitely wrong with her foot or ankle, broken, something. You know, she's in bad shape. Also, the car after the crash can't turn back on. There's no heat going on in the car, so it's starting. Obviously, she's stuck in this blizzard, so the car is getting really cold. She doesn't have a heavy winter coat, and all of her stuff that she packed for the trip is stuck in the trunk, and she can't even move. So she's in a really bad situation. Now she immediately starts realizing she hasn't felt her baby. Gets really scared, starts crying, no. Goes for a feel of the stomach, and luckily the baby gives her a couple little fluttering kicks to let her know, I'm here, I'm okay. So of all things, the crash was bad. She's in a bad situation, but at least she's aware. At least she's conscious, and at least the baby's okay. So now she starts to call 911. Call doesn't go through. She calls 911 again, no signal, call doesn't go through. She calls one last time, hoping by some miracle there's all of a sudden going to be service. But, of course, the call doesn't go through. So again, she's in panic. She immediately starts to think about her brother. She mentioned that her brother had been into an accident in a snowstorm as well, and then he broke his leg. So she starts to think about the fact that when she hasn't shown up to the house, and it's been a long time, Dennis is going to really start to worry. He's going to call the authorities. He's going to call everybody, fire department, whoever he can, because he's been in a similar situation. So she has some relief in there, but she's also scared because she doesn't know if she's going to be stuck here all night. And if so, is she even going to make it through the night? It's freezing cold. The snow's piling up. She doesn't have anything to keep her warm. It's a bad situation. All of a sudden, she sees lights in her rearview mirror. Now, she makes a joke almost of like, are these lights? Am I dying? Should I walk into these lights? But it ends up being the lights of a truck. Truck pulls up behind her, flicks on the high beams to see what's going on in the car. A large gentleman gets out of the vehicle, and Tegan immediately is hesitant. She's like, oh, it was a large, over 6 foot, big man. He walks up to the car, knocks on the window. He's holding a shovel, lets her know, I got to shovel snow to even open the door. He shovels the snow, knocks again, hey, unlock the car, opens the door. Tegan now sees it is big, over 6 foot man, full scruffy beard, very rugged guy. She's a little bit scared of this guy, intimidated. Yeah, she doesn't like it. He asks her, are you okay? She tells him, no, I can't even move my leg. I think my foot's broken or something's broken. So he moves the seat back, gives her some breathing room. She actually feels a relief because now the pressure's off of her leg, you know, and he's here to help. She's still very reluctant and hesitant about the whole situation with this guy, but what else can she do? I mean, she's stuck out here, crashed vehicle. This is the only person that's going to save her, and she's hoping that he can take her to the hospital. So he ends up taking Tegan to the vehicle after what seemed like a miracle to get her out, because when he went to grab her under her leg, she was in excruciating pain. He gets her into the vehicle. She asks, hey, can you go grab my purse and my bag? He doesn't want to, but he does anyways for her. Throws it in the back, gets in the car, takes off. Now, she immediately assumes that he's going to take her to the hospital, so she says, hey, what hospital are you taking me to? Only he doesn't answer. She then says, again, in a calm, relaxed voice, even though she's starting to get worried in her head, hey, what hospital are you taking me to? He doesn't say anything again. Now, she starts to really get nervous, and one more time says, hey, what hospital are you taking me to? And we know his name is Hank. He ended up giving him her name. She said, I'm Tegan, I'm Hank. And Hank says, I'm not taking you to the hospital, I'm taking you to my home. Now Tegan is in full panic mode. Thoughts start racing through her head. She's like, this guy's gonna kill me, he's taking me back to his house. I'm done. Huge guy. There's nothing I could do. Can't fight back. She's in full panic mode. So she starts to cry and be very like physically. Now Hank can see she's emotional, so he stops the car. He tells her, I'm sorry, I can't take you to the hospital. It's snowing too bad. The nearest hospital's 10 miles. I can barely in my truck make it to the house. There's no way I'm going to make it. You're going to be okay. When we get to the house, we'll use the landline to call an ambulance. Now, Tegan breathes a little bit sigh of relief because she realizes Hank's right. It's snowing so bad that even the truck is having trouble driving through the snow. There's no way he's going to be able to drive 10 miles to get her to the hospital. So she's like, okay, I guess we're going to go to your house. So Hank continues on, goes to the house. He pulls up. The first thing he says to her, which Tegan is so relieved, is, I'm going to go get my wife. Tegan's like, whoa, you have a wife? Like, she says it in a way of like, I wish you would have told me this earlier, because now she's a lot more relieved to know that this large gentleman who she's already intimidated, scared, doesn't really want to be with, at least he has a wife. There's another woman there. She feels a little bit of a relief. Hank goes inside, grabs his wife. She comes out, opens the door. Hi, I'm Polly. I'm also a nurse. Oh, now it's like another sigh of relief because Tegan can't get to the hospital tonight. But at least the guy Hank was there, brought her to the house, and the wife is a nurse. So Hank and Polly help Tegan into the house, put her on the couch. Polly's automatically starting to assess the situation. Hey, what do you feel? I see you're pregnant. She tells her, yeah, I'm pregnant. I'm almost due. I'm 8 months pregnant. And she's like, my leg is hurt really bad. I think my ankle's broken. So Polly tries to take off her right shoe, is able to take the right shoe off. Not too much, but when Polly goes to take off the left shoe, Tegan is in too much pain. She can't even let her take the shoe off. She refuses to let Polly take the shoe off. That's how bad the pain is. Unbearable. So now the situation is, at least she's in the home, at least everything's good, but Polly lets her know the power's out and the phones aren't working. So now when Tegan thought she was going to be getting an ambulance to the hospital, she's not tonight. Polly lets her know, you're going to have to stay with us, and we'll call an ambulance in the morning, get them here, the roads will be cleared, it'll be easier for them to come out and take you to the hospital. So now Tegan's in a position where she has to stay the night with these complete strangers that she just met. Even though she's happier that she has the Polly there who's the nurse, she's still very intimidated and worried about Hank. She has a bad feeling about him. Then on top of that, they tell her, we should bring you down to the basement. And Tegan's like, I don't want to go down to the basement. That doesn't sound good. But they tell her, Polly and Hank, that Hank's mother was sick and they have a hospital bed down there, full bathroom, and everything they need to take care of her in her situation. So reluctantly, she doesn't want to go downstairs, but the couch that Tegan's on has the springs are poking her in the back. It's uncomfortable. There's no way she's going to be able to sleep on this thing all night. So she does let Hank and Polly take her downstairs, and just as they said, there was a hospital bed down there, bathroom, everything that she needed. Now she's a little worried as she goes down in the basement, because not only is it like the basement, she already doesn't know what's going on, but the basement smells like alcohol, like sanitization and decay, as if somebody died down there. So now Tegan's worried about that too. And obviously she still doesn't even, feel good about Hank. So Polly gets her down there, gets her laid down, tries to start making her comfortable, helping her out. Finally, Tegan asks her, "Can I get some pain medicine, please? Like, I'm in too much pain." As a nurse, Polly says, "I could give you a couple Tylenol, but that's it." So Polly goes, gets her the Tylenol. Tegan's like, "Oh, I can't take this smell down here. Like, these people telling me the truth. What was the mother even down here?" Like, so many different thoughts are going on in Tegan's head, and I'm sure she has every reason to. But Polly comes back, gives her a glass of water with the 2 Tylenol pills that Tegan's like, "I probably aren't even going to do anything." Polly's, making some small talk with her, asks her, "Are you married?" And Tegan, in the moment, wanted to tell her whole situation, like, "Oh yeah, I got pregnant, one night stand, the guy ended up drugging me, raping me," but then she's like, "I can't do that. I have to make these people think that I'm like, everything's normal." So she tells her, "Yeah, I have a husband, like I'm married," lies. And I get, off topic, that's a good thing, because, it's good to let these people know there's somebody out there thinking about her. Somebody's looking for her. Somebody needs to know that she's okay. So that's obviously why she lies and says she's married. Lady says, "Oh, Polly says, what's his name?" She immediately, "Jackson," even though she's not really like feeling Jackson right now because of what happened, she says it's Jackson. Obviously didn't want to say Simon over everything that happened, so better off choosing Jackson. Also, what Tegan did that was good is told Polly that she was on her way to go see her brother. That's how she even got into this position, that she was on her way up north to go see her brother. So now Polly and I'm not sure, does Hank know? I don't know if Hank was in the room, but at least Polly knows and can tell Hank there's 2 people looking for her. Not only is her husband looking for her, but her brother's looking for her. So, that should give Tegan some more reassurance that these people know there's a couple people looking for her. So, she tells her that she's married. Jackson, she tells Polly he's a lawyer, and she's like happy for her. "Oh, at least you have a husband that has a good career, can help take care of you and your child." And Tegan's like, "Yeah," and in her head she's like, "That's not even the situation." But, it kind of dies out from there at the end of chapter 15. The only thing that really happens is Tegan is in so much pain, she knows she's not going to be able to sleep for the night. Polly ended up making her some food, tuna sandwich, but when she comes back down, she tells her, "I have to have something more than Tylenol for this pain. I cannot sleep. I'm not going to be in a position where this I can't be. You have to go get me something else." And Polly's the nurse. She doesn't want to do it. She's very adamant about you can't. But basically, right at the end of chapter 15, she's telling her, "I don't care. I have to have something." And that's how the chapter closed out. So it was a great, read, 10 to 15. I was happy for Tegan that even though she was in the accident, no head trauma. Obviously, she didn't die. She was still conscious. Baby was okay. Somebody came to save her, even though it's this big scary guy and the situation's really intimidating. At least it was this guy who came to save her in a truck, brought her to the house. Just so happens the wife, a nurse, now they got her in a position where they're in this hospital bed. She's at least being taken care of by this lady, and that's good. I'm happy for Tegan, at least in this in the scenario that she's in. Even though she's injured, she needs to get to the hospital. This is probably the best case scenario for everything that happened. So yeah, I'm happy for Tegan. The story's kind of I feel like it's building again to see what happens next. What happens with Hank, the guy that she doesn't feel comfortable. What happens with Polly, the nurse, who obviously she's in a situation now where she's forcing this nurse's hand to give her, something stronger medication. So I'm going to read chapter 16 through 21. Yeah, I'm going to read 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. See what happens, what happens in this whole scenario with Tegan being with these folks that saved her. What happens? Does she end up getting to the hospital, getting her leg looked at? Does she end up finally talking to Dennis? There's just so much going on in the story. I feel like it's a big building moment right now, and I'm excited. So until next time, put the tech down, pick the books up. I'm Matthew James.